insurance business, customer retention is as important as onboarding new ones. Customer loyalty, however, is dependent on the experience that an insurer offers. Poor user experience, long turnaround time, weak grievance redressal mechanisms, among others, are the top causes for customer dropouts, and the Indian insurance industry has been trying too hard for too long to solve this. We live in an age of one-click grocery delivery. Gone are the days when you would have to walk into a showroom to buy your next smartphone. So naturally, when it comes to financial products like insurance, customers have grown to expect the same. Simple, seamless and positive experience they derive from other purchase journeys. But what happens when these expectations are not met? You move on, right? Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Insuring India, a podcast by Digit Insurance. I'm Disha Sanghvi, and joining us on today's episode is Mr. Praveen Bhat, Senior Vice President and Head of Customer Happiness at Digit Insurance. Praveen has spent a large part of his professional life in the insurance industry across companies such as Bajaj Allianz Life Insurance, Aegis Limited and Future Generali India Insurance. Thanks so much, Praveen, for joining us. I've been looking forward to this chat because customer experience, especially after the COVID-19 pandemic, has taken center stage across all industries, and insurance is no different.
Thank you so much, Disha, for inviting me. I'm very glad to be here on this show today.
So Praveen, let's rewind a bit before we discuss the present situation. What were some of the key challenges when it comes to customer servicing before the onset of the pandemic?
So, typical service challenges, I think more or less people know. I will highlight those which are not spoken more about. Let's say, for example, having to serve multiple customers at the same time. Now, in customer service, you need to be prepared to deal with several customers at a time on a daily basis. My tip over here is how to overcome this challenge is by learning to take a pause correctly. If you clearly specify to the customer that you need time to find a response to his question or find a solution to his problem, it's not a big deal. Customers are okay being put on hold if you tell them you need a few moments to research their issue. I mean, that's absolutely fine. Second point that comes to my mind is being time pressed to give a reason or response when you don't have one. Now, there are situations where a customer is rushing you to give them a response, but you don't actually know what to say because either you don't understand how to solve their problem or you don't have enough information. Now, here in such situation, I recommend to hold your ground and insist on taking your time to investigate the issue. In case if you still don't have an answer, one can always say, could you please leave me with your number and I will always get back to you shortly. Third point that comes to my mind immediately is facing an irate customer. Now, dealing with angry customer is a part of the deal. You are entering a customer service job. There is no escaping it, no? I think some of us in the past has played the role of an irate customer, isn't it? It's just how they feel and you can't help it. You can only save it from going worse by remaining calm and providing with possible alternatives. Fourth important point is having no solution to the customer's problem. Now this is very sad, but you have to deal with it. Now, if you have no idea how to solve a certain issue, it's better to take time and research it a bit more. Maybe consult with your teammates or senior staff. You can always say, sorry, it will take me some time to investigate the issue and check a few details with your manager, with your superiors, and can always get back. Another point that comes to my mind is not being able to give a discount. Typically when people or customers would want to take a policy, the first thing that they will do is compare the prices. Now it's a tough one to say no or say no to a discount, especially if it is a loyal customer who's been there with the company for many years. But what you can do about it is if you can't, you can't. I mean, the point is decline, but decline politely.
Well, thank you so much, Praveen, for breaking that down for us because, like you said, customer experience, customer servicing, managing customer expectations is definitely not easy. The industry has witnessed a huge digitization wave since the pandemic. Has this encouraged insurers to go that extra mile and make servicing more hassle free?
Yes, there are many examples of how actually digital transformation of insurance has changed the industry or helped insurance industry. Now, operations are far more streamlined. Customer interactions are done via WhatsApp, chat. Claims can be processed automatically where pre-inspection or survey of a claim are done just using links and no manual intervention is required. From a sales perspective, partners, brokers can aggregate all their information to work faster and more accurately using self-service portal. Now, the real impact of digital transformation on insurance, I can summarize maybe in 3 or 4 benefits. First, efficiency. Now, when I say efficiency, it is very obvious that effect of digital transformation on insurance is the efficiencies it actually enables. Primarily, the AI and its related technologies of machine learning and predictive analytics. Almost every piece of insurance operations have been optimized for speed. Let's say, for an example, say claims. Now, claims can be processed via an app instantly. Policy writing can be done in less time with machine learning capabilities. Digitization helps speeding up customer service. There are live chats that are helping customers in their most important times of need. Second important point is the personalized service that we can offer. So, customers today expect service and attention where and when they want it. They also expect it to be suited to their needs, and personalization, I think, is the status quo across all industries. So digitization is empowering insurers with the tool they need to give customers excellent service without overextending their resources. So, for example, AI and machine learning create a seamless personalized experience for customers, partners, and our brokers. So customers can pay premium, can do a change or an endorsement, they can view their policies, they can file their claims using an app, and brokers can receive, maybe process all information at their end under one particular system. No waiting on the phone or maybe have dependency on the branch offices. Third point is, I think, scalability. Very, very important. So it helps to become more nimble and scalable at both the front end and the back end operations. Now, while insurance historically could be a bit clunky, technology today has made it flexible to current demands. On the customer facing front, I feel insurers today offer service everywhere and anywhere via self service dashboards and apps, and collect valuable data from customers via IoT enabled devices. On the back end, this technology is collected and helps brokers and insurers make more accurate decision on underwriting policies, new products offering, and much more. Fourth is being agile. Now, when I say agile, it means the transformation is also helping the insurers being future proof. These technologies undoubtedly continue to evolve and create more advanced opportunities for years to come. The foundation that is being laid by AI, machine learning, blockchain, data analytics, predictive analytics, all this will help insurers grow and adjust with the new insurance technologies and capabilities. So typically these technologies are just the tip of the iceberg for the insurance industry. To be prepared for a digital future, I think insurers today must adopt the tools of digital transformation and find creative ways to optimize all areas of their operations.
Yeah, I think, Praveen, that makes a lot of sense. While digitization has become the new buzzword for the insurance industry, this is something that was actually the need of the hour, and it's a welcome move that more and more insurers are now adopting digital tools. But Praveen, how can insurers leverage the increasing digital penetration in the country, to bring down turnaround time, especially when it comes to claim servicing and grievance redressal? Because what we are noticing today is that more and more people, even in tier two, tier three towns, have a smartphone, which shows that digital penetration is going up. So, how can insurers leverage that to make claim settlement more hassle free, basically?
Extremely important question, Disha. So, claim settlement remains a key challenge for the category, which impacts the consumers and insurers parallelly. Now, digital driven by technology enabled data analysis solutions is the way forward for streamlining claim settlements in the country, is my view. Typically, insurers can use artificial intelligence and big data analytics to create accurate individual risk profiles. Now, all this make the underwriting process actually very seamless, and at the time of claim these profiles can be verified quickly, and I'm sure this will reduce the turnaround time for claim processing to hours and even minutes.
Well, that's interesting. But Praveen, if I were to ask you from a customer standpoint, customers face the biggest trouble when it comes to claim settlement, and that's where the greatest number of grievances come from as well. So, what can customers do to ensure faster claim approval and settlement? Any tips that you could share with our listeners?
Absolutely. So I think to make the claim settlement process quicker, a smooth experience, everyone should follow, I think, 3 or 4 points. First is, I think, being honest. Please fill up the proposal form yourself. I urge and request all of you to fill up the proposal form yourself, be it online or offline. Declare actual details and disclose your medical condition or maybe history or maybe existing damages of your vehicle clearly. This actually avoids any kind of a complication that arises due to false details during the claim settlement. Second, very important, is don't skip the renewal date. Always renew your policy at least 10 or 15 days in advance to avoid any kind of an inconvenience or last moment hurrying up. So insurance claims are paid only to active policyholders. If the claim date does not fall in the policy period, then you may not get the claim. So therefore, never skip your premium and always renew before time is my suggestion. Third is for health policies precisely. Don't skip your medical checkups. I think pandemic has taught us much more, from an health perspective, hospitalization perspective. So health checkups updates you and the insurer about your present medical conditions. Sometimes they might also be free or paid, by the insurer, but getting the tests done is very helpful while buying a health plan. It also allows the insurer to understand the current situation and clarifies the medical condition of the policy buyer. This not only reduces the chances of rejection, but I think it will also help later in settlements, if any. Complications arises due to symptoms or maybe conditions that is detected during such test. The buyer can always make a truthful disclosure. Fourth, take some time to go through the policy contract. Now, you should know what you're covered for and what constitutes exclusion according to the policy. Now, all benefits should be understood well, and I think reading the document thoroughly really helps. It is also helpful when you want certain inclusions which may not be a part of your standard plan or your current plan. Now, in such cases, you can always upgrade or include additional benefits, or maybe you can opt for an add-on to the current plan. Last point, very important, is to update your profile. So A updated profile is extremely helpful during settlements. Imagine one individual wanted to file a claim, say for motor or health insurance. Now, unfortunately, there is a very, very severe incident or there is an unfortunate death. Now, what really happens here? If you have the nominee details and address updated, the settlement process will be smooth as the company now knows about the settlement recipient. Therefore, we suggest that you update the nominee details like name, address, contact details, your recent telephone number, address. Always keep the insurer updated about all these things and ensure that your alternate number, email ID is also been updated in a policy document regularly.
Thanks so much, Praveen, for sharing those tips. And I can vouch for what you've said because I know people around me who've not made the right disclosures and then have struggled at the time of claims. So I think disclosure is the key word, and we must all abide by it if we do want to benefit from the insurance policy that we have. But Praveen, coming back to customer servicing and what it means for somebody like you who leads the customer happiness team, is there a formula that insurers can adopt when it comes to improving customer experience and staying close to customers' expectations?
Formula, huh? So I hope there could have been really a formula for best customer experience. But unfortunately, there is no formula as such. But I'll tell you, basis on my experience, whatever I've learned till time, I think being simple but effective, being fast and transparent are actually those points that helps the customer experience goes up to the next level. There are few more points that we should definitely think about, rather the insurer should definitely think about. For example, by adding new channels to communicate with customers for policy questions, their queries related to claims, like for example a WhatsApp self-service mode will really help. Second, I feel changing language in policy document and communications to use less insurance jargons and make things really simple to understand is another point. Third, I feel offering hybrid experience, human plus artificial intelligence, physical and virtual, direct and agent based. Online is great. Everyone is talking about online. Online is really great, but a human touch, a personalized call or a mail really helps. One should engage with customers on regular intervals or throughout the year. Not only just reach out to the customer at the time of renewal, but just one SMS, one email. That works a lot.
Absolutely. And I think what really stuck with me is how you mentioned that it is important to, communicate with customers and with people in a language that they can understand. A lot of times what we take for granted is that, okay, if you're speaking in English, yes, you come across as a really cool insurer, but you may not build the right connect with your customer. And I think I couldn't agree more about, emphasizing on vernacular languages when you're communicating with your customers. Moving on, insurers today have abundant data that can be used to improve processes, but how can data and analytics be used to enhance policy servicing in particular? It'll be interesting to know your views on this.
Sure. So insurance companies using data analytics solutions have witnessed significant improvements in decision making, business intelligence, customer conversation, etc. I think the key benefits that has been offered is like, say for example, improving customer satisfaction. Now, happy customers really make happy businesses. When I say that, customer satisfaction is one of the greatest initiatives of advocacy, that referral marketing, brand identity creation. If a business is successful in fulfilling customer expectations, I think it will automatically register, accelerate, and unprecedented growth. Second point is mitigation or mitigating claims fraud. Now, claims fraud continues to be a major challenge in the insurance sector. Now, however, insurance companies using data analytics have seen considerable improvements in their fraud detection process. With the application of data analytics, I think insurance claim fraud detection becomes speedier and more accurate. For example, the history of a fraudulent case is stored in the data, and the data trends of an insurance company while processing any claims. So the insurers can carefully check if the trend is repeated. This in turn actually helps reduce the act of fraud. Third, very important, is predicting accurate risk for underwriting. Now, underwriting is a complex task, for all insurers, and it can be simplified through insurance underwriting analytics. Example, let's say the data trend would predict a higher premium for a customer who has been engaged in rough driving than that of a customer whose data trend predicts a lesser risk profile. Now, this analytics models actually helps to be used for developing better underwriting rules. In turn, this contributes to a uniform application of underwriting practices and probably lesser risk. Next point that comes to my mind is how this can enable the business growth. So one of the most important element of insurance domain is quantifying the level of risk so that it can accelerate business growth. With hordes of data now readily available, it is possible to base such assessments on pure data, then predict eventualities that can disrupt operations. Insurance data, analytics, all this acts as an engine to the growth of any insurance company with its capability and predictive analysis of big data.
Well, like they say, data is the new oil, and I think for the industry, the insurance industry, there is so much more that can be explored by just leveraging the data that they collect. Moving on, Praveen, some insurers have started using automation to improve efficiency and also save costs. So, in your view, what aspects of customer service can be automated, and how will it benefit the customer in particular?
Good question, Disha. So, the purpose and objective of automation is to reduce overall time, both for the customer as well as for the organization, here insurer. This time is to be termed as processing time. Typically, if things are processed faster and accurately, one can reduce customer cycle. Now, what I mean by customer cycle here in a layman term is basically the repeat requests or the repeat calls from the customer who follow up for their queries. From customer service perspective, I think automation should be implemented on all customer touch points. I can just give you an example maybe of two such points, which one is, say, policy issuance. Now, if there are no deviations or red flags on the information that is being provided by the customer, the insurance bot can actually issue the policy. So thousands of policies can be issued in just few minutes. This reduces processing time, which helps reduce overall tax and helps the customer to get their policies on or before time. Next is claims. From a claims perspective, earlier days where customer used to send their physical documents to offices, now I think they can just upload it on the portal, say self-service tools like WhatsApp and so on, and which reduces the overall efforts and time. That provides with a very hassle-free experience.
Rightly said, Praveen, because honestly, I think automation is the future, and companies that do not adopt automation may actually lose out. And I think as an industry, even legacy players are now working towards automation, digitization, because today's customer or the future customer is somebody who would be very, digitally advanced. So yeah, I think I completely agree with what you've said. And before I let you go, Praveen, I've taken a lot of your time, but one last question. If I were to ask you 3 things that we can do as an industry to improve customer experience and enhance customers' trust in insurers, what would you say?
Well, Disha, 3 things to me is, first, adopt a proactive approach than being reactive. Let's not only keep reverting customer queries and grievances when they as customers approaches us. Let's see all data points, behavior patterns, and think how can we ensure these queries or grievances does not occur in the first place itself. This is precisely where customer journey is important and has to be reviewed very frequently. Second point is the sense of urgency. Now, people are short of time. Teams should be empathetic for their customers and should feel the pain that they go through. For every single aspect or transaction, there should be a defined TAT and everyone should be inclined towards making this TAT better. This, I feel, reduces the overall grievances for future too. Last but not the least, customer service is an attitude. Every member in the organization should keep the customer first, customer service aspect before designing any product and or any process. Now, I very firmly believe that if the input is right, the output will be right. If the end customer is not satisfied and happy, no matter what AI and technology we build, everything is in vain. So to attain supreme level of deliveries, one has to keep themselves in the customer's shoes.
I think those were 3 really important action points, Praveen. Thanks so much. The industry is witnessing a transformation, and enhancing customer happiness is on the priority list for most insurers. For customers, there is lots to look forward to because the category is set to become simpler to understand, avail, and benefit from. I'm actually excited about what's in store for all of us. Thank you so much, Praveen. This was indeed an insightful conversation. Can't wait to have you back soon.
Thank you, Disha. I think what we discussed today is just a drop in the ocean, and there is much more to do, really. And I'm sure in coming days the industry will see dramatic changes in the experience that is delivered to our customers. I really hope all our listeners have some significant takeaways from our conversation.
And listeners, thanks so much for tuning in. We'll be back soon with yet another episode of Insuring India, a podcast by Digital Insurance. Also, if you're listening to us on YouTube, don't forget to press the bell icon.